Hello Chipsters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. Today we will be having a look at another update on the Sherman. Not a lot of progress for a number of reasons. Firstly, I did the, I can't remember what stage I was on the last video. I'd definitely done the painting, hadn't I? I can't remember if I put a blue filter over or not, but that's what I've done. I just put some model colour in and watered it down that much that, you know, I'm not saying it was transparent, but it wasn't far off, and put that all over the model and over the wheels, I believe, as well. I think I did anyway, because I'm working from, let's just see, I've got a huge pile of books that I'm having to look at the moment with different uniform references, but let's get this out. Matty Models had put I was going to say an unboxing, but you know, having a look at one of these books just before Telford, I believe, and he sold me a copy anyway. I don't mean he sold me a copy, but you know what I mean. I looked at it and I thought, yeah, I'm going to give that a go. It was, as I've said to you before, I think it was £29 plus postage. You could get it, maybe get it cheaper, but it's very like high contrast, you know, type painting. I've not really achieved it with a Sherman, I don't really believe, but as he says in the book, you've got to start somewhere. You know, I may change direction, do a different way of doing things. I don't know, but he suggested putting either a yellow filter over if you wanted that a bit warmer colour, and because this is going to be a winter one, January time type thing. I was not sceptical because I paint figures, and you know, glazes are a bit like filters. I'm sticking my neck on the line there, and you change different colours, hues and whatever with tones with glazes, and it's more or less the same thing. So I sprayed it on, but I wasn't too sure either if I'd go too heavy-handed or too light. But when it dried, I was actually quite pleased with it. I thought, well, it does give it a colder look, you know, putting a bit of blue over the top of it. So, and as he says in the book, you can also put it to particular areas. You can, you know, do some more passes over a particular area. I haven't on this one because there wasn't particularly panels, maybe say on a Schutzen or things like that, you know, that I didn't really see anywhere where I wanted to particularly make a panel stand out more than another one, so I left it just putting a blue filter over. He then goes on to the decals. Now, I know that Tamiya decals because this is a Tamiya kit, tend to be a bit thicker, so people say. I'm not, you know, I don't have enough knowledge in the knowledge bank to really say one way or another. And I'd put armour texture on myself, so I knew it was they'd probably sit down be a bit harder to sit down. He didn't suggest putting a gloss underneath them, so I didn't. I thought, no, I'm following him, so I'm going to stick with that, you know. And that's so I didn't. But what I did do, and he suggested, and I've seen others suggest it, is I actually got my scalpel out and on fresh blade, and I cut as close to the to the main decals as possible, you know, without the carrier film, getting most of the carrier film on it. And I honestly thought that would settle, that would be enough. Unfortunately, it's taken about four nights over last week of reapplying. I've got that red and blue set sole, whatever they call it, I can't remember now, but I've got those two bottles, and I just put water down, like he said, for the base rather than the Mark set, I believe, which is the blue one, isn't it? And then I put the sole, the red one, over the top. But it took ages, and what actually happened was they kept lifting back up again. And Gav being Gav, I don't know, I've probably put my finger on it rather than it's just completely fallen off, but the zero, which you're going to see in a minute, fell off and disintegrated into a million pieces. Oh dear. So it was scrabbling around in the boxes trying to find anything. I wasn't going to go rob decals off another tank that I might want to be using, but I thought I must have off ones I've done in the past and that, but nothing fitted. So I painted it on. You'll see in a minute. Managed to paint it on askew. It needs another white one over the top, but I'm also going to be putting a bit of whitewash on this and taking it off, hopefully. So yeah, it literally took about 4. It could have even been 5, but I think it was about four nights of just, you know, putting some more solution on it, just putting it back away and letting it do its thing. Seems to have worked. There is a bit of silvering, which we'll come to in a minute, on the little stencil data, as we call it on the aeroplane, which is, I didn't want to go cutting that off because they were tiny little. I thought, no, I'm going to stuff that up, so we'll just have to take a chance with that. And it appears to me as if there's a bit of silvering on that. I've gone over it with some Galleria gloss, which is more, in my opinion, it's come off more like a satin than anything, which I don't mind. You know, I've got stuff to do with that anyway. So yeah, it's been a bit slow, and also building the tracks up, which you'll see in a minute. I've done one length, and I've just noticed one guide horn's fallen off already. It has taken me all of last week just doing an hour here and an hour there each night. The odd night I didn't do it. I've got other stuff to do, but that's taken a while to do, and I've still got another track. I've only about not a quarter of the way through the next set of tracks, so it's going to take a while. But at least now I've got this on, I should be going to my next chapter and seeing the next bit that he would normally do in that stage. So let's go down to the bench. I know I've rambled enough. I've more or less talked over everything that I already wanted to cover, but you might as well go and see what I've done. Right guys, I've not put the big overhead tripod up, not for what I've just got to show you, but I'll probably use it again next time. Let me just move those wheels before they go flying everywhere. So I do think the blue filters work quite well actually. I mean, yes, it's shining a bit now, but it's hard for you guys to see any difference, but I can see it, and I'm quite happy with the blue cold feel to the vehicle. That's the dreaded 0. It's slightly askew. Oh well. I still am going to do it, I think. And the next stage will be actually, I believe the next stage is winter whitewash. And but what I don't want to do is do what I want to show is a tank that's had it nearly all washed off. And so it's just going to be maybe sitting in, I don't know whether to do the whitewash or not, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm not sure. The more I look at it, the more I say, well, do I leave it like it is as I'm trying to learn the main techniques? I don't know. But yeah, they looked as if the rest of the decals look as if they're a bit scruffy there because where I've been cutting them myself, but the stars have sat down fairly well. I mean, there's no real amount of decals to this, to be honest with you, but they all seem to have sat down now after about 5 attempts. I'm not overly fussed even on the bits that are a bit scruffy there, because I would have thought they might well have been scruffy in real life. The only thing that's a bit annoying is, as you can see, you can see the carrier film on those. I'm half regretting now not just trying to cut it out and stick them on myself, but never mind. All this has got to be sorted out yet as well. These are spare tracks. I've got no further forward with the stowage. It's all been made up, but nothing's really else. No primer or anything else has been done. In fact, I don't even think I've filled the actual any bits of seam lines and stuff. But yeah, I mean, you look at it there, you can see a bit of blue on it, but without it being blue, if that makes sense. So yep, that's our Sherman. As I say, I wasn't expecting the decals to be as so much of a problem as they turned out to be, but these things are sent to try us and we will overcome them. Alright, these are our wheels. Again, I'll put a bit of shine on those as well. Let me just see through my viewfinder. Oh, that's better. So I had the viewfinder at a different angle, and it tends to darken what you're looking at, or what I'm looking at, I should say. But yeah, I've stippled the wheels and things, and I said I'd taken a couple of little dings out the rubber tyres, but you know, nothing major. There's no point showing you the rest of them because they're all the same really. But that's our wheels. Now the tracks, as you can see, we've got our one missing there. Luckily, I happen to have a spare one over from the other night sat on the bench, so I shall stick that on before anything else. There isn't any real great attachment points, so my guide horns, which all have to be stuck on individually, are a bit askew in places. You have to do 3. Well, no, actually, let me get my other one out. I'm keeping under my dust cover. Hang on a second. They're a lot more pliable without the guide horns on, because the glue that I'm obviously gluing them on tends to they still move and they'll still wrap around okay. But these are very pliable when they're like this. But once you've stuck the guide horns on, it tends to obviously glue up these little bars at the end. You have to put 2 on. They're in a pair already. And you put them on. You put these on the bottom first, then you put your bars, as I call them, in a little groove either side of this single plate, and then you put these on top. Well, that's how I've worked it out anyway. I've got probably more than a quarter done actually. Hey, oh well, Nick, I was going at it last night. Well, I did finish a bit late. Oh well. But yeah, you think you're going really great guns, and then it's the guide ons take forever, because half the time they ping off as you try and put them on. Because I use my wax pencil to stick these top pieces on. I'll just pick it up with that and they plonk it on, and most of the time they fit, and occasionally they might slide over slightly and you just get your tweezers and push them together. But the guide horns, because they're so close to each other, I can't really get my pencil, even with shaving some off, I can't get my wax pencil in there. So I tend to have to just keep getting them with the tweezers, and they tend to ping off every so often. For every third one tends to go flying across the table. So yeah, it takes a time. So it's probably taken me a good 7 days, I would have thought, or maybe 5 days, or as in an hour a night or something like that, to get this complete track length done. It's taken longer actually. It will take longer to do the 2 lengths of track than it will do to actually put the kit together. But good mare of mine, obviously I didn't mention it before, Vic from Vic's Miniatures, or Minis, he sent me this kit ages ago, and it's taken me that long to actually get to do it. So please go and check Victor out. I'll put a link to his channel, as he's a channel buddy. And then another channel buddy, Greg from Greg's 1 in 35 scale models, actually sent me these tracks. In fact, he's actually sent me another Tamiya kit for Christmas. Thank you very much, Greg. And they've got some more tracks in. I don't believe they're going to be as hard as these ones. I said to him the other night, I says, every one of these links I put together, I throw another dart in the photograph of him. I've put a photograph up on my wall and I'm throwing darts each time. Each time one of these guide arms goes pinging across the table. No, it was really good of him and really generous. As I say, I don't like the rubber tracks, and these hook or by crook will get their way around my tank, because they are made for, it says on the box, for Tamiya. Maybe not made for how I put them together, but hey. So yeah, that's the what we've got to show on this instalment. I wanted to show it now because it's taken that long to get obviously the tracks together and the decals to sit. I wanted to keep this quite constant turning round on. I didn't want to peter out on this one. It was both the tracks and the tank have been gifts from other people. I didn't want to peter out on it or stuff it up if I could help it. And this is a tribute to Victor, this tank. So you know, I wanted to do my best and keep it going. So that's why I've put the video up now. I was wondering whether to leave it and, you know, do a bit more work to it, but I know that it's probably going to be another 4 or 5 days with stuff being done to it, but not enough to do a video. So guys, thanks for stopping by and taking a look. I should have a couple of mounted, only a tiny little video, that one, a couple of mounted 30-year war figures from Mez's Minis I'm doing as a commission. Finally got 2 completed. I stuck another 2 together last night and cleaned them up, and they're going for priming with the figures I showed the other day for the Mexican-American War, 1846. What else? Sometime later on in the week we'll have another installment on the Voltigeur, putting the jacket, painting the jacket on him. What else have we got? Probably the weekend of that weekend we'll probably have another update on HMS Kent. I've not really done anything more because I've been concentrating on I only have a bit of time to myself after I've done the commissions and stuff at the end of the night, and I can't, you know, you've either got to do the tank or do the ship, so there hasn't been a lot extra done on Kent, so it might be another week or so before we see another update on her. I don't anticipate she'll be finished before either end of January or end of February. I'm not really that fussed. It's a beautiful little ship, that, and I'm just enjoying doing bits on it as I go along. I've got some 6mm that I'm working on, some Napoleonic 6mm for a review, but because I decided to go and paint the entire, I don't think Alan was expecting the entire brigade to be painted, but I'm painting the entire brigade, or I call it brigade, so it's just taking a while. Again, it's having to be done, you know, in the little spare time that I've got. So yeah, I think that's everything. I've got some more Old West figures coming. They're artisan again. I got them probably from the same guy. I've also got a building that I'm going to be sticking together, hopefully sometime this week. I'm going to stick that up, do a little review at the beginning and show it unpacked, and then maybe try and stick it together on camera and see how that looks. So look after yourselves, one and all. The year is advancing to its close. I will be doing, I'm trying to work it out whether I do a monumental shout out video or do 2 before you all turn off. But there will be a shout out to all the guys that I've been interacting with a lot this year. You know, they're not, most of them are guys that you hear me shout out all the time, but I like to keep pushing the ball forward with these channels where possible, because they're all really nice people, and you know, they deserve as many subs as they can get. So look after yourselves. We will catch each other very soon, as usual, on another video, because like I say, there's plenty to come up. So yeah, this is me. This is let's bring it back into view. This is my Sherman. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Thank you very much, Victor. And as we say, on the next one, hopefully will be, I have no idea. It'll either be a bit of whitewash or no whitewash. I don't know. I was almost talking myself out of it there. We shall see. Look after yourselves, guys.